Love and happiness. Yeah.
Love and Happiness's mission is to help 1 million couples. Dr. Vandy and Barbara Coulter are committed to reaching this goal. Love and Happiness has helped thousands over the years through their couples retreats hosted in various cities. Their popular Central Florida TV show, Love and Happiness, has been syndicated in several states. Their best-selling book, Love and Happiness: The Secrets to Creating Winning Relationships, has helped singles and couples alike learn how to build better relationships. It's no surprise that the Coulters are in high demand. Relationship subject matter experts featured on talk shows and national radio looking for real relationship talk. The Coulters' virtual retreats, social media platforms, Facebook live streams, and relationship masterclasses have put their mission to help 1 million couples in their sights. Dr. Vandy Coulter, Ph.D., a certified counselor with presidential status in the American Association of Christian Counselors, has a virtual counseling practice that serves CEOs, pastors, entrepreneurs, individuals, and couples who want their relationship to go from bad to good or good to great. Dr. Vandy has been featured on Fox, CBS, NBC, their national affiliates, and various media for the impact from his virtual counseling as a response to the relational health crisis during the COVID pandemic. Dr. Barbara Coulter, real estate investor and serial entrepreneur, complements and contributes to what makes Love and Happiness the perfect blend of real talk and fun. Our motto is no one gets their happily ever after. They create their happily ever after. After the hurt, after the disappointment, you can still be happy. And Love and Happiness is just what you need to have.
Love is.
Hey.
Hi, happy Saturday, Facebook family. How are you guys doing?
Yeah.
So we are excited about
Yes.
today's show.
So excited because we've been trying to give you this information for like 3 weeks. And one time we did it and
No audio.
no audio for some strange reason. And another time last week we were on a little staycation and the hotel's Wi-Fi was so sketchy.
But Port St. Lucie
Yeah,
is amazing. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful in Port St. Lucie. And so it's gonna be a wonderful conversation. We're talking about keys to long-lasting love. And these keys are gonna really, just gonna be something that you can use and enjoy in your relationship. So I'm gonna let my wife, Barbara, go first and share one of her keys, and we'll see how far along in the keys, and be sure to take a second and share and all that good stuff.
Well, I think the first key that I want to talk about would be to focus on your mate's strengths. Focus on your mate's strengths. So I just believe that we should just be excited that and just be excited for our mate, and also just focus on the positive things that person brings to the table versus what that person's not doing or what that person's not gifted in. Sometimes we're pointing, you don't do this, you don't do that. Well, focus on that person's strength, whatever that strength is. It could be strength of character, it could be a good steward, or it could be a good steward of finances, or just a loving heart, or whatever strengths that person and qualities that person brings to the table. Highlight that in the relationship. Focus on that versus focusing on all the negative stuff.
Because it's real easy to focus on
the negative stuff.
Yeah.
When you've been together 5, 10,
even if you've never been together, I think human nature can spot
flaws.
Yes. I think
Flaws.
Human nature. I'm sorry, I just shook the camera. I realized I just got a revelation. I got earthquake skills. It's shaking the earth. So I think that what has to happen is that we realize that because it's so easy to see the problem, it does take actual intentional thought
to focus on the strengths, what they bring to the table. I ain't talking about money or what you've been done for me lately, but just their strength. If they have a compassionate heart, if they have a loving heart, whatever the strength is that they bring, because we all have different things, qualities, giftings, anointings for different things. So just focus on that, highlight that, and celebrate that.
Yeah, because sometimes it's hard. Like if you were to generate a list, if you guys sat down together, whether you do it in a list or a conversation, and you say, you know what, I'm going to share, 10 things that I absolutely love about you.
Mm-hmm.
And, when I'm counseling, if it's in a weird space where all they see is negative,
Mm-hmm.
that's actually a exercise I would give a couple
Mm-hmm.
to just say, hey, tell them 10 things that you absolutely love,
Mm-hmm.
not that you kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
but you absolutely love. And it helps the other person realize that they do see value in the other person.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're like, I love how responsible you are.
Mm-hmm.
You really make sure that the
Mm-hmm.
family is okay. Or I love how
Giving.
when we are, really not in distress, I love how you treat me or this, and it helps
Mm-hmm.
people just because sometimes you just need to hear positivity,
Yes.
in the soul of a couple.
Mm-hmm.
So
and you need to, and I think it's good that you know that your mate admires you,
mm-hmm.
Look up to you, because
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes in this world we don't have a lot of heroes, especially
Mm-hmm.
in relationships. So
Mm-hmm.
just I think that
you can end up feeling like, do I do anything right? Is there anything good in this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So those moments are those are good. That's a good key.
Mm-hmm.
The key that I have to give is it's almost a wisdom key.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason I say it's a wisdom key is because you really have to take a minute and kind of do regular assessments about the relationship to get what I'm getting ready to say.
Okay.
I'll start it by saying this way. Let's say you're together 7 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
10 years, 20 years. Whoever you met when you all got together is not the same person
No.
4 years later,
Mm-mm.
9 years later.
Mm-mm.
And if whoever they was in 4 is not who they are in 9.
True.
Because we continually evolve.
Yes.
We continually change. And oftentimes, and that's why I have a little pet peeve with the 5 love languages,
Mm-hmm.
because in the 5 love languages, you can get pigeonholed where if your mate thinks that your love language is acts of service,
Mm-hmm.
that might have been true in 2006.
Right.
But in 2012, it may be physical touch. It may be something else.
You have multiple love languages. It doesn't have to be.
So I say bilingual.
Right.
Like you could be bilingual.
Mm-hmm.
And that evolves. And all I'm saying is whoever your mate it was when you all first fell in love,
Mm-hmm.
it would be wise to realize through circumstances, seasons, stresses, maybe children come into the play, different dynamics, psychological,
Mm-hmm.
things. They evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether they evolve for better or evolve for something you go, boy, I sure wish you was more like
Mm-hmm.
when we met. It's important to recognize who they are now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that a key to making it last is being able to take a step back and do self-examination and to do an assessment of the relationship partner to say, who are we now?
That's
because
true.
who are we now may need different things from the other person.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like, like I say, it's almost like you are using the stethoscope to just listen to their heart, to just, how the doctor would just be like, okay. And you're like, yeah, and he's just putting it back, and you're like, okay, well, you listen to breathing, you listen to, where you at? And it's almost to listen to the tenor or the
Mm-hmm.
kind of the place the relationship is in.
Yeah.
So that way you don't try to do 2002 stuff when they really need 2021
Mm-hmm.
kind of, energy.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like you may need to pay attention to certain things different now. You may need to encourage your mate if they've been through some seasons of disappointment.
Absolutely.
You may have to just be more intimate with them if they just been through some stresses that cause them to feel like they're on an island.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think for me, one of the keys is to be able to understand that things change,
Mm-hmm.
and as they change, we have to evolve
Mm-hmm.
with how to address it.
That's good. I love that. Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So your second key.
I'm
51
now. I used to be 20. No, things happen.
Yeah.
22 years.
But you haven't changed for the worse.
No, I've grown.
No, I'm just playing.
I've grown.
No, she's awesome. Go ahead. Second key.
Second key, I think.
No, well, your second key.
My second key.
I'll give my second key.
I think it's about keeping the laughter alive.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping the laughter alive in your relationship, because oftentimes when you are together for some time,
Mm-hmm.
life comes in, and sometimes it will steal your laughter if you allow it. And the relationship is all about routine, and it gets like in a rut, and you no longer laugh with your mate.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe even if you're no longer laughing with your spouse, your mate, your boo, your honey, you're gonna find someone else to laugh with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's about, keeping the laughter alive, not taking yourself seriously, so serious, and just try to spark or rekindle the friendship, or keep the friendship alive, where it's not just, okay, we're spouses, we're parents, but we're friends, we're buddies. I can laugh with you, I can joke with you. I know in our relationship, I'm the comedian. I'm the one who's always laughing, always joking, always,
You had to say that live. I don't even believe that. You couldn't say that on a pre-recorded. I could have just edited that live out. I could have just cut
I'm always,
that live out.
I don't take myself seriously. I like to joke around. I like to have fun. I like to, our kids
she real funny right now. She is hilarious. I want you to know right now.
Our kids, even our daughters, even know that I'm the funny one.
How long you gonna walk this fake dog? I want to know. Is this dog gonna? Is it gonna? Okay. Well. I'm
the funny one.
Yes, you are. Anyway, you are hilarious right now. I can't stop laughing inside.
I know about when you were younger.
Oh, Lord.
Jokes with the class clown.
Could we get this dog?
Never the class clown.
Could we get him
you
off,
were the
off
class
the curb?
Clown, but
could we get the dog? Because now it's just like imaginary.
Keep the laughter alive.
Just,
all I'm saying is keep the laughter alive in your relationship.
Yes. Back to the key, because I'm laughing hysterically right now. So so my key is my second key. I think makes. If you do this second key, I think it helps what my wife just said as her second key. I think if you don't do this second key I'm going to give you, I think it's going to be hard to laugh together. So my second key for taking responsibility for long-lasting love is to take responsibility where it's needed in the relationship. Because what Barbara is really saying is, hey, laugh together. So you don't got to go somewhere else to laugh. But it's hard to enjoy the company of someone that you're looking at, like through the seasons of whatever you all, went through, and they never took responsibility. The kind of people who just, you come to them and apologize, but they just go like, okay, thank you. And you're like, I did that because it's your turn to apologize. It's your cue. And they don't know how to apologize as well. So taking responsibility, just being able to realize that none of us are perfect. And by you leaving your mate in the finger pointed like they're always wrong, you could tell the funniest joke in the world. They're not going to want to laugh with you. Not tomorrow, not 6 days from now, not next month from now. But when you take responsibility, if you just simply, stop pointing the finger and say, well, I'm going to work on, me as well. And these are some of the things I think we can work on. That helps them feel like we're in it together. So, your audience connects to comedians, the audience connects to comedians when they're telling jokes. So if you disconnect from the audience, they tell the funniest joke, people will still be like cricket, cricket, cricket. So I think taking responsibility for the past mistakes, to just say, I know I didn't do certain things right, and I'm just going to try to be better. Can't promise it'll be perfect. Can't promise it'll never happen again, but I will try to be better. And that lets the other person know, okay, we're trying here, not I'm trying here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that'll make it easier to laugh together when it comes to that. So your third key would be? My third
key would be to celebrate the small moments and the small things that happen in your mate's day. It could be just something that happened at work that they got accomplished. Okay, that they were really looking forward to for it to work out. It doesn't have to be like, oh yeah, I just got a $10,000 bonus.
So how much? So give some suggestions about, for example, if somebody wants to celebrate a small moment, an example of a small moment that could be celebrated.
A card. Put a little card. Maybe one or two a card saying, I'm so proud of you. And they come home and see it like pinned to the bathroom window or mirror, or they on their pillow, just something, or their favorite candy. Send them some roses or some flowers. I'm just so proud of you.
Or you could create a moment.
Or create
a moment. That way you don't have to
spend money.
Well, you still, depends on how you're going to celebrate it.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, you were saying celebrate small moments, meaning something that happened, but it might not be a big deal.
Big deal, right?
Or you can create a moment.
Right.
You can just literally say, you know what, today I'm going to create a day where I'm going to celebrate you. And it's not about necessarily what they did or didn't do. It's I'm celebrating you because I love you. I just want to do some things to just pamper you today.
Like
That means you create. Yeah, because she had a stressful day.
But
and I didn't have to. I was just I think I was expressing my love for you. Because the moment was you had a tough day. And when she called, I just said, listen, what I did is I took a picture of the bath with the Aspen fragrance and all that, saying, hey, this is waiting for you when you get home, to say, this is, I know you had a long day. So in that case, I was really just listening to, to what you've been dealing with. And as I'm listening to what you're dealing with, I concluded
you celebrated me, not the moment, but me.
Right. I wanted to just do something to pamper you because you had a rough day. But just you're out doing your thing. And it was a long day, I think 13-hour day or something. And I was like, when you get home, you're gonna be tired. And I think to that point, as you consider how to celebrate, part of it is how to anticipate. If I already know that you're getting ready to and you've done it for me many times, if I'm out in the yard and I'm power washing the house, or I'm power washing the boat, and I'm this and I'm that, I'm gonna be definitely looking for a hot tub. Right? Yeah. So yeah, to anticipate, I think is as big of a deal as to celebrate.
I think so.
Yeah, because if I anticipate your needs,
that's good.
That shows consideration. And so many couples don't feel considered. That I counsel, that's really a core issue, is that they feel the mate is taking them for granted, that they're not being considerate in those capacities. So yeah, so I love the celebrating the small moment or the small things, and to add to that, to create those small things, because those are expressions of I love you,
right,
which are really expressions of intimacy. And intimacy is not just me being into you and you being into me. It's also how I speak to you to bring you into me, and it's what I do to bring you into me. Right. So if each person is doing something to bring the other person into them to go like, wow, they really consider me, that becomes really powerful as a key to kind of make love last.
Definitely.
Cool.
Your third.
All right, my third. This one is really, really like a cousin to my first one, but completely different. It's a simple word that I think most relationships lack, and it's clarity. And by that, what I mean is most relationships don't have clear vision. So it's hard to make something last if we're not aiming for it. So if I have clarity that no matter what we go through, if we disappoint each other, if we get upset with each other, the vision requires clarity. That you have to, when you first get together, you have to be able to look and say, this is how our future is going to be. You have to be intentional about that, because there'll be opportunities for you to change and say, I give up, I quit, I don't want to do it, I don't like it, I don't, whatever. And the reality is, if you just realize that, hey, we have a place we're aiming for. We're aiming to be 100 years old, still holding hands, that kind of thing. My wife and I have a vision. When we first got together, I saw this old couple going into Dunkin's together. I said, hey, look, and they wasn't like just wobbling, trying to hold each other up. They looked like they was 90s, but they were holding hands, walking, driving. I receive in Jesus' name that 90 won't be like eyes so dim they like pop get off the road, because they did their own thing. And they went in holding hands, and you could tell they wasn't holding hands to keep each other up. They were holding hands because they wanted to. And so I found a picture of an old couple kissing, and I showed it to my then fiance, or we were just getting serious, and I said, this would have to be us, and they were kissing like they cared, they were kissing like they were into each other, not like it was just a peck, like get out my face kiss. It was like, this is somebody who has my heart. And so having clarity keeps you in those seasons and situations where you start to feel like, I don't even know if this relationship is going to work. I don't really know if they love me like I should be loved, or they care anymore, So I just think clarity is such a key to being able to say, we good. you know, because if I lose sight of what we were initially aiming for and I get upset, I can end up messing up the future vision that we created. So I think if somebody is really interested in a long lasting relationship, you need to sit with your mate and say, you know, where do you see us, you know, in 5 years? Where do you see us? What do you see us doing in 5 years? What do you see our relationship looking like in 5 years? You know, what do you see our relationship looking like in 25 years? And if someone is like too short-sighted, they'll say like, well, I'm just trying to make it through the day. And the day can actually steal your future. You know, it's like what happens in your day, just like with Esau giving up the birthright, what happens in your day can actually change your whole future. So I really just think that if you spend more time getting clear, thinking yourself clear when you get disappointed, when you hit challenges, because long lasting love is not usually absent disappointments, some being upset, have to compromise
some things, sacrifice. Definitely sacrifice.
Yeah.
Forgiveness.
Oh yeah. And you got to weave that into the vision. You know, people do it at the altar, you know, for better or for worse, for sickness and, you know, health.
Before marriages later. He's still saying.
Oh, you just said something.
Before marriages later.
You said something
seriously?
It's like those words don't mean as much, right?
And that whole till death do us part. Is it spiritual death? Is it like the death of the relationship? Because it ain't physical death, because you would be for marriages later. So
Well, see, what I'm saying is, I think at the altar, too many people, because they don't have a vision of what commitment looks like. Commitment is based on love, and you commit to the person based on love. But love won't make you keep the commitment. You know, you have to have some head knowledge and some disciplines. So when your heart says, I don't like you right now, I ain't feeling you right now, your head says that's a feeling, it's going to change.
This too shall pass.
Yeah. You know,
this too shall pass. Right. And I think that people are committed to the party. They're not committed to the relationship, which is the wedding, the celebration, and not the, okay, for better or for worse. Am I going to forgive you? Am I going to look? I can go there with the Bible, what the Bible says about forgiveness, but you know how many times a day people get offended for the smallest things, but
And honestly, it's probably easier to be offended by who has your heart, because you're sensitive. You're more sensitive to what they say. So the hurt can run deeper than someone at the supermarket.
Absolutely.
So you have to dig down to grab forgiveness deeper than if you just walked out the supermarket and called, and then the person you're on the phone with says, girl, just let that go. All right, I'll let it go, you know, and move on to my day. But if it's the person who has your heart, it's like an anchor. It just stops the whole boat, and you're just like, so it can really just, you know, mess up that love boat.
But I think you said something earlier, you know, we decided that the vision we looked at, the older couple, whatever, also is like, divorce is not an option.
Right.
We're going to work it out. Divorce is not an option. We're going to work it out. I'm going to work on me. You're going to work on you. We're going to work on us. And we are committed to God and to our relationship. And I know it's just because, you know, when you don't have the Lord in your relationship, who's your beacon, who's your anchor, who is your, you know, the rock, the solid rock that's going to keep things together, the foundation, it's going to be like, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to buy, you know.
Well, here's, you know, theologically, I have to land on the truth.
Okay.
The truth of the matter is, the Lord makes a tremendous difference in the relationship. But with integrity, there are people who are Muslim, this, another, and they've been married longer than Christians. Okay. So what I say that to say that my position on it is, you have to do the work. It's according to the power that works in you, because there are some people who absolutely just reject Christ and Christianity, and they're not, you know, just faking it. There are some happy people in all walks of life, but it's not about this life. If you understand, it's about eternal life. But all I'm saying is, relationally, the principles that Christ teaches us does apply and help us forgive better, love better, treat each other better. You know what I'm saying? And I would be irresponsible to say, as if someone who is a non-Christian, that the only way you can have natural happiness. Now, I can tell you the only way you get to eternal life, but the only way you get to natural happiness is by doing this way, because there are some people who've been, married 75 years and they finish each other's sentence and they are committed. And then you got some people in leadership in churches who've been divorced 3 times.
That is true.
So there's a balance to it, is all I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that, the point being that if I have clarity, if I know, like you said in the beginning, we said, you know what, we want to make sure that we always win together. We work it out together, right? That we do this together and not let things pull us apart. And when we feel ourselves pulling apart, we got to both submit to that original vision to say, but we made a commitment here that we're not going to just sit in our own, stew in our own anger or frustration for 3 days and or, I'm going to walk out, or you're going to quit, or I'm going to stop doing what I do when I get upset, that kind of stuff. So I think it's being clear that really does help make sure that people are able to have a long-lasting love. To make love last, I think you really just need to be able to look at the relationship, focus on your mate's strength. And I'm just recapping so you can recap.
Keep the laughter alive. Absolutely. Celebrate the small moments.
And create your moments.
Create your moments.
If you're intentional about creating, I can't emphasize that enough, because happiness is what happens. So create happiness. Make something happen. Just do something, and taking responsibility, because your mate will enjoy you better if they know you're owning your own stuff. If the only one who stink is them, after a while, they're going to look at you like, really though. So I think it's important that both people are like taking responsibility, and then that clarity, sitting down, where are we going? What are we doing? And see where they are. Here, don't get offended if they have a different vision.
Have a vision and a mission.
Just start working on compromise to get together.
I remember you were saying, God, a decade ago, maybe 2, we need a vision board for our family, for our relationship, a mission statement for our family, for our relationship.
Yeah, about 15.
Yeah, and that really helps set.
That
helps set us on a great path to, okay, I know where we are, I know where we want to go. So yeah,
absolutely. So if you guys have some tips, put them in the comments to make love last. You say, just keep your gun loaded and they'll do what I say type stuff, whatever. And we'd love to hear. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are. And we can't wait to see you next week. And we will not let something get in the way of us being able to give you some more real relationship talk. All right. That sound good?
Bye.
All right. So I'm going to just say we out on